Hello, YouTube. Well, it's only been, what, a couple days since Trump won and took office. Well, if you've been paying attention, these freaking liberals are... My goodness, man. My brain is laughing inside. Holy cow. They're... They're gonna take me. And they're so mad they're busting their own TV and... So TikTok banned me. This is going to YouTube, by the way. I got 2 channels on YouTube. But anyways, I haven't made videos for YouTube in a while. Because I was concentrating on TikTok. I don't know why I was, really, be honest with you. Because I knew I was going to be banned eventually. But I wish I was on there when Trump announced that he won. I missed that. Dang it, man, I missed it. So, man, it's good watching this. Really good watching this. I go live on Bigo app, BIGO, too. And the people on there, they just flip out because I changed my name on there to Mr. C. Trump won. You can find me. I changed it. Kind of on purpose. Just to see what would happen. And, well, I bet you can guess what happened. People flipping out. You know, the black racists coming at me. Oh, you're not on my level. Da 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 da. You cracker. You cracker. Okay. I'm either a saltines cracker or I'm a duck quacking. Quacking. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, but anyways, these liberals are really flipping out. That's amazing, actually. Because we told them that Trump was going to win. But yet they're talking about leaving the country. And then you see all this stuff about the Obama left the country. The movie stars are leaving the country. You see all this stuff happening. Wow. P. Diddy's list is busting loose. You see Trump putting out all his plan together. I haven't made a video in a while for any of my channels because I was kind of waiting until the election was over. The corruption in America needs to be handled and handled well. Because if you need to prosecute those that are in government for committing crimes, you need somebody that knows how to do it and somebody that will do it. And somebody that's not afraid to walk through hell's fire. And Trump has been drugged through the mud, been drugged to hell and back. But yet he still follows God and Jesus. Wow. Am I saying that I'm God and I'm saying that he's 100% correct on everything? No, he's not. He's human. But you know what? Hey, he knows more than us because he's actually looking at the paperwork. So, yeah, what he's looking at and what we're seeing is just 2 different things. So you see all the news that's breaking loose, and you see all the liberals that are spreading disinformation. And then you see these lawyers or these DAs, Fannie and whatever the other one in New York was named. They're trying to prosecute him before he actually is inaugurated. Because they know they can't prosecute a sitting president. So actuality, my question is, was he a president anyways? Because Joe Biden's presidency was illegitimate. And we know that one was stolen. Wow. But anyways, all these liberals that are just having conniption fits and acting like 2-year-olds on TikTok, Twitter, and everywhere else, God knows where else. It's actually quite entertaining to us because we have said that we don't want your America. We want our America, which means our rights, our freedom, lower taxes, lower money. I don't want to be spending 90% of my check trying to survive. I don't want my Social Security or my wife's Social Security going to illegals. They said New York was actually canceling the food vouchers now to illegals. Well, that's a good thing. You know, there's a lot of things coming out real quick, real fast. So 2025 is going to be the year to watch. I said this year was going to be the year to watch. Well, it was. Sit back and watch. But now you got to watch 25 to see what happens. No, Project 25 ain't going to happen. Yeah. Sorry, that's not. The Heritage Foundation actually endorsed Harris. So, actuality, yeah, that was a Harris ploy to try to get Harris to win. But nobody wants her because she lies about her own background, her own family, her own grandma. She lies, and Waltz lies about everything. So you was actually voting for Waltz more than you was her, because Waltz is a weirdo. But they call us weirdos and trash. I live in an RV, a camper, and they call me weird and whatever for living in a camper. Well, I'm sorry, under Biden and all them, we couldn't afford much because we're broke. Me and my wife are fighting to survive and have a place to sleep and have a place to try to stay warm. You know, our little heater here, you know, we gotta turn it on at some time. And it's like cold today, and we got the heater running. So, and this poor little RV, you know, getting old, really need to replace it, but you know, we don't have the money for that either. So, under Biden and Harris, I have lost more money, and I'm sure America has lost more money than under Trump. But yet they want to blame Trump for everything. When they were actually had money in their pocket, they were all right, cool with it. But now they're so brainwashed that they're going to blame Trump and blaming the white guy. Right. That's why I like messing around on Bigo app, because Bigo app actually, I get to mess with people. I talk some really silly stuff that really I don't mean it. I'm just, my mind's messing with them. And those people really get frustrated and flustered. And it's quite funny actually. So these liberals or people that are of weak mind and weak arguments, you can kind of pick them out real quick as soon as you get to talking to them, because they have no evidence, they have no facts, they have no truth in their life. They don't have the truth of God in their life. They don't have the truth of the constitutional rights and the freedom. They don't have the truth of law behind them. They don't have the truth that is coming out that Trump is going to set loose. Classified information. How much information is he going to set loose this year? He's talking about a lot. So, there's a lot of things going to happen. I'm sitting back in my little town of White Deer, Texas, and I'm sitting here going, yeah. And I say, yes, it's my town because I moved here and I will remain here because this is a good little town. I like this town. So, yes, I claim it as my town. Shout out to the mayor and everybody else of this town that is actually pretty awesome. The sheriff of this area. We don't have a police department. So, people carry their own little pew-pews. So, I mean, when they need to. But we really don't need to out here. Because the crime ain't like the Democratic controlled places. You know, the Democratic controlled places is putting black people in prison because they're dumping fentanyl, they're dumping all this stuff on the streets, and they're getting the black communities to hurt each other or unalive each other. So yeah, it's amazing how that works. Our CIA and our government, the KKK and everybody else, have set up Planned Parenthood so the black woman will go commit abortion at a higher rate than any other race, and the black men are committing crimes and killing each other at a higher rate than anybody else because they're democratic control. But yet they're so sold. They sold their soul to the devil. You know, the devil party. They sold their soul, and they've been voting for him for how long now? So you can't convince them otherwise that what they've been voting for is nothing but a false god. You try to talk to them and do it out of love or honesty. They don't want to hear honesty. They don't want to hear truth. And then when you tell them that there's so many videos and evidence and court cases and people in prison to prove that y'all voting for Democrats is the wrong thing to do. The way you raise your kids is the wrong thing to do. You've been raising them to hate the white man, but in actuality, it's not even the white man that's holding you down. It's your own community that is holding you down. Your own community is destroying itself. It's like a snake eating its own tail. Wow, imagine that. We've been telling you that. It's not us, it's the government and your own community. Your own community is stealing from each other, looting and stealing and killing and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, P. Diddy's list is busting loose. Well, that's going to have far-reaching consequences too. So for every person on that list has a list. So you're talking a list upon a list upon a list upon a list. So what information, you take every name on there and you start looking at their information. Who did they party with? What information do they have? So Epstein's list, the same thing with Epstein's list. You take every name that's on those lists, Oprah's list, Weinstein's list, and you multiply that by who knows what. How many people they've interacted with in their life. And you start investigating everybody. The storm is coming. And Trump said the storm is coming. Get out of its way. And if you're involved, you will be swept up in the storm. Well, good luck if you're involved somehow. Why do you see so many people resigning from the Democratic Party or their Senate and all these different positions now? Because they know they're going to get busted. They know they're going to get found out. They know they committed crimes. And then you have Mexico and all the UN telling Trump that we should not go after the cartel because that would be an act of war. But yet the cartel have been committing active war for far too long when they come into the United States armed with military-grade weapons into the Arizona and into Mexico and into New Mexico and Texas and everywhere else, even into California. And they come across and they're pushing their fentanyl, their poison onto our streets. That's an act of war. So yeah, the cartels have started this fight. So for the UN to say, well, I wouldn't do that, they're protecting terrorism. They are protecting terrorism. And all those opioid plants that our military soldiers have been protecting overseas for years, for generations, that the pharmaceutical industries have been pushing into our streets, the opioid crisis. Yeah, that's an act of terrorism because that money fuels the terrorism around the world. It fuels the drugs cartels, it fuels the terrorists, Al Qaeda and all that, Hezbollah and everybody else. The money from those drugs is fueling all this stuff, this terrorism around the world, in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. And then, let alone, who owns all them pharmaceutical companies? BlackRock, Vanguard, State House, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bloombergs, whole list of names. There's a list of names. I've got a list of family names where you can go through each one of those families and start tracing them and see who's all involved. It's amazing how many people are involved with all this evil around the world. The governments, the very governments that's telling America not to go after the cartels, are involved with the cartels in some way, shape, or form. The president of Mexico is saying, oh, I wouldn't do that. He is involved because his federales are paid off all the time by the cartels. They don't stop it. No, they curb it just enough, and they allow it to happen. Some of those federales are actually involved in the cartel. They're just acting like federales. So actuality, when you start to break down the webs of evil around the world, you realize that the banking systems and all these chemicals, lab-grown meats, and all this other stuff, all that's designed to destroy the human race. They have one agenda: destroy the human race, destroy America, the last hope of freedom, destroy humanity, period. And what are they doing? They're doing just that. Imagine that. Wow. Alright. So you're telling us that we can't protect our own country from the very evil cartels across in Mexico just because the UN told us that we can't, or NATO told us that we can't, or these corrupt politicians or these corrupt military generals are telling us, oh, well, I wouldn't do that. No. I'm glad Trump's in office, because Trump is telling them, hey, guess again. Because they have started it a long time ago. They've been getting away with it for a long time ago. They got so much money down there, so much weaponry down there, that they have committed acts of war and crimes against humanity and war crimes and everything else. They have committed so many crimes that they need to be held accountable. The P. Diddy list is going to reach so far and so wide, we don't know how far it's going to go. The Chevron difference that went through the Supreme Court, the Bruen decision, is going to be reaching a long way, because that's going to give us our Second Amendment right back to defend ourselves. People like Gavin Newsom and all these corrupt politicians, these Democratic corrupt politicians that have been saying, no, you can't carry your guns, you got to do exactly what I say. I'm Gavin Newsom, you got to do what I say. The ones that's been walking around beating their chests are the same people that crucified Jesus and would crucify Jesus today. Those are the very people that would hang Jesus on the cross today. See, everybody says, oh, it's not going to affect our state because we're a blue state. Oh, yes, it is, because you're a blue state. The criminals are going to be taken out of office. They're going to be taken out of office. See, the censorship on social media is going to stop. The censorship of people telling the truth is going to stop under Trump. Because we're going to hold you guys accountable. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all these places that's been taking people that speak the truth and banning them, they're going to be held accountable. See, a lot of changes are coming in 2025. So that's why I've been telling everybody, invest in gold, silver, and platinum, and copper and brass, even aluminum stuff, and lead. Think about it. Bullets are made out of lead. Freedom seeds, whatever you want to call them. I'm telling you, invest in metals. Because I'm telling you, the war is coming. Now, will it be a civil war, revolutionary war? I don't know. Trump wants a revolutionary war to change the system, to destroy the deep state. We need to destroy the deep state. We need to destroy the Freemasons, the Skull and Bones, and all these other different groups like that. Because those groups, for far too long, have been controlling the world. They have been putting people into office that we didn't want in office, that we had no control over. They've been putting these oil baron families into office. You know, the Bush family, that's an oil baron family. The Clinton family, that's a corrupt family that they will you if you talk against them. So I'm telling you, things need to change. Like Trump says, things need to change, and they need to change now. The corruption needs to be dismantled piece by piece and by the right people. And by the people that are smart enough to know how to do it and do it correctly. We need to pull out of the UN and NATO. We need to pull out and be an independent, sovereign country again. A republic, constitutional republic, where we can exercise our freedom without fear of the government spying on us or the government coming in and retaliating against us, you know, law enforcement and everybody else. We need to operate in this country as free people again. We need to educate our children, educate our neighbors, we need to educate everybody about what a free country is. Do we agree all the time? No. Because I got family members here that I don't agree with them all the time. But there's a time, like Trump said, there's a time just to keep quiet and let things happen. Let them see the truth come to light. Because what's done in the dark will come to the light. And believe you can't hide nothing from God. God knows all, sees all. If you get away with it in this world, you're not getting away with it when you stand before God. So, America, get ready. Buckle up. This roller coaster is going to get rough. And when this roller coaster gets rough, you better be ready. Physically, spiritually, mentally, and physically ready to handle whatever comes. And if the storm comes your way, get out of the way. Stand tall, stand proud with God. Because if you stand with the devil, you're probably going to get plowed under. You have a choice. Either freedom or move to a different country that is controlled by the government. Communism, socialism, or some religious whatever. You have a choice. Either stay here, have your freedom, or go somewhere else where you don't have freedom. Because we don't care. We don't care about your BS. We don't care about your agendas. We don't care that you're on the internet boo-hooing and bawling and destroying your own TV just because you don't like Trump. It's not about Trump, really, to be honest with you. It's about freedom. It's about our rights. It's about our grandchildren's rights. It's about our great-great-great-great-grandchildren's rights. It's about preserving something beautiful called the United States of America. That's what it's about. It's not about Trump. See, y'all think it's all about Trump, but it's not. It's about our freedom. It's about what God gave us. God gave us this freedom, this right to live and choose how we want to live today. It's about the freedom to choose God over some man-made false religion. It's about the freedom of standing up to the evil that the devil has put on this earth. And telling the devil, I choose God, I choose Jesus Christ. That's what it's about. Trump is just a person that's there in a position that can help us, and he can help us put our voices forward, and he can put our freedom back where it needs to be, in our hands. That's what it's about. Anyways, y'all have a good day. God bless, and remember, let's make America great. Let's make it free again. Let's get away from big government. Y'all have a good day. It is freaking cold in Texas right now, and raining, windy. So, y'all have a good day.